Hey, hello out there, Twitch. How's it going today? Thank you for joining me. I'm Matt Groves. I'm here with some office hours. Used to be called the Live Coding with Matt Groves, shortened it to office hours. We're doing the same kind of stuff, but a nice short name to give me more room in the title. This is the 75th one of these that I've done. We are really getting up there. We're almost 3 digits. Hey, J.R. Lawthorne, what's going on? Thanks for hanging out. Good to see you here. So, one of the things, if you had started already, oh boy.
Good afternoon, everybody.
What's up, Calvin? How's it going? Thank you for joining, Calvin. If you didn't tune in last night, you missed Calvin, Alan, and I live on Twitch recording our next episode of .NET Bytes, which will be published shortly. We're bringing the podcast back after a short break, and that was fun. We recorded that live and broadcast it on Twitch. So definitely give Calvin a follow. What we're doing today, it looks like JR and Calvin, maybe a few others were hanging out before I started my video feed here, I had like a countdown screen. Just a boring old clock with some of the bullet points of what I'll be covering today. Hey, Bhaskar, I think it is already on YouTube right now. The new .NET Bytes. Yes, I think that's correct. The live video feed of it. Yes, the actual edited version that will be in the podcast feed is not quite published yet. There's all kinds of stuff. There's show notes, and we record our audio locally, so it may be higher quality as well. Plus all the the theme music and stuff like that. That's going out. So it's just the raw material right now that you can see on YouTube and on Twitch. But anyway, I had a nice little countdown screen there. What I'm thinking, this is something I kind of stole the idea a little bit from my church, a little bit from movie theaters, is that before the event starts, they put on like trivia on the big screen. And it's like it's not interactive really. It's just sort of like you go to a theater, you sit down, and a question goes up there, and you maybe commiserate with your friends. You're like, oh, I think the answer is so and so. No, I think you're wrong. I think the answer is this. So I think that would be fun to have something like that before my stream starts. As a little like countdown, like 10 trivia questions or something, or even just 5 trivia questions as we count down until the stream starts. It'd be a fun thing to do. So I looked around for a few different tools to do this. I could just use plain old PowerPoint, or there's different presentation tools to do this. But I'm thinking, why not take this as a chance to learn something new? There's this reveal.js framework out there, which is kind of like building presentations, slide-based presentations in JavaScript for a browser. But I think I could probably use them to do a little trivia. Humble Toolsmith, hello, how are you doing? Are you going to bring back the NPM package quizzes? So that was in my own podcast, Cross-Cutting Concerns podcast. I used to have, is it a real NPM package or not? My podcast has been on break, I guess, for just about a year, maybe. But we can add it to .NET Bytes if you want to, Calvin. I'm totally game for that. Or I could make it as some of the trivia questions. Which of these is a real NPM package, right? So that might be one of the questions for it. But I was thinking along the lines of developer-based trivia, tech trivia, things like that, just as a kind of a fun little thing to do while you're hanging out, waiting for the show to start. And we could build this, make it open source. Other streamers could use the same sort of thing if they wanted to. All right, so let's get started with the stream here. Go through my normal startup stuff here. The only stupid question is the one you don't ask. So ask questions about whatever you see, technology related. If something on the screen that you're not sure what it is, ask away. Very question-friendly channel. I'm not going to, if you ask a question, I'm not going to ignore it. I'm going to answer it the best I can. And so this is a place for you to ask questions, a safe place to ask questions. I am on Team Live Coders. So if you go to twitch.tv/team/livecoders, you will see the list of the people who are streaming. We'll come and check that out towards the end of the stream. You can also go to livecoders.dev. Oh, it's like I'm right in one of the pictures. livecoders.dev, and go /members. You can see all the people in the live stream there. Look at that. Kevin Griffin, number 1 in front of his name. He gets there right at the top of the list. But you can see anyone who adds their profile, they get keywords in here of what they stream about, the different social media links. So you can go and browse this and see, oh, someone here doing Vue. Well, I'll go and check out their stream. Or someone who's doing serverless, I'll go check out his stream, things like that. And you can find, here's Calvin right there. And I'm in here somewhere. It's M, right? Alphabet. There we go. Matthew D. Groves. There's me right there. And I'm doing a lot of C#, backend stuff, NoSQL, Couchbase, ASP.NET, Azure Visual Studio, that kind of stuff on the stream. Although today, we might get into some Couchbase today, because I want to make this trivia somewhat data-driven. But it's going to be a little more front-endy. It's going to be presentation, JavaScript, browser type of stuff. So that's what we're going to work on today. So check that out. Another place you can check out streamers is you can go to GitHub/BNB/awesome developer streams. And, oh, it's been updated 6 hours ago. We're going to have to do a quick search. But it's a big text file. You can just do a Control-F here and same sort of thing. Look for a keyword that you're interested in. You know, find someone who's streaming about it. So I can do what I do, since this has been updated recently. I'm just going to search for data. I like to see who's doing stuff with data and databases out there. So let's see if anyone else is new on my normal search. So Liz Phillips, still there. There's myself. Rachel Tatman. Shirley Wu. Yep. Ted Young. Looks like nothing new here. Go Maestro Go. Jack Mott. Yep. These are the usual suspects. So there's a sad lack of database in the tech streaming world. So that's okay. That tells me that I'm in an area that it's not saturated already. So that's kind of a good thing. But if you're looking for any topic, databases or Python or whatever, Azure, AWS, go here, do a quick search, just like I did with Control-F, find people who are streaming about those topics and give them a follow. This could be Twitch, this could be YouTube. This list it's not tied to any one particular streaming platform. Could be Periscope, could be Facebook, a Mixer, whatever. So go check that out. All right, and bit.ly/GrovesTube. So all my videos that are saved, that I do on Twitch here, also get saved over to YouTube. You can go view those, bit.ly/GrovesTube. It's up to date. All the episodes are on there, so you can check it out. That's just going to take you to the YouTube channel right there, bit.ly/GrovesTube. Hello, if you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment, leave a question. Happy to answer that right there in the comments. Or bring it up on the next stream. So thank you for watching on YouTube. I appreciate it. Upcoming events. So this one is over, GDG Cloud. This one is, I think the video is posted. If not, it will be posted. But that presentation is over. CouchCon is what's up next. That will be in just 2 days from now. It'll be this Saturday. Not affiliated with Couchbase, by the way. No relation. It's just couch as in the actual piece of furniture that you sit on and watch while you're watching and participating in the conference. So I will be presenting here at CouchCon. I will be presenting about Couchbase. So it's just couch. So check that out, May 9th, couchcon.live. Go and sign up for that. It should be fun. SQL Saturday Cincinnati, I will be presenting there as well, again virtually. NDC Oslo, I just received an update. They're starting to get stuff organized and set up for NDC Oslo. So that will be a virtual conference this time. Not going to necessarily take place in Oslo, unfortunately. Maybe next year. But I'll be presenting this one as well. So you might want to check out NDC Oslo and sign up for that. I probably should get a link for this, right? NDC Oslo. Put a link here in the notes. That is just starting up. It's a 5-day online event. All these interesting topics here. Definitely want to check that out. So I'll put a link to that there. NDC Oslo. And the Live Coders Conference is coming up June 20th, the second Live Coders Conference. This was so cool the last time, and I'm looking forward to seeing it again in June. So livecoders.dev to learn more about that. Actually, it might be, if it's up yet, conf.livecoders.dev. Yes, there you go. So there's not much there yet. It's just kind of placeholder page, but there'll be information there about the speakers and stuff that's going on. So I'll put that URL in here. Oh, it's conf.livecoders.dev. All right. So this is not what we're working on today. We're going to look at reveal.js for pre-show trivia. We're going to see how this works. I want to go back to my chatbot backlog here. There's a few things that I've marked done. So one thing I want you to check out, I talked about maybe putting some rotating pictures on the screen, somewhere here on the screen. What I've done instead, if you scroll down a little bit under the Twitch video, I've actually added some links there. So if you want, so Manning was another one, for instance, on here. And I haven't added all these yet. I'm going to add one here for Pluralsight soon. But Couchbase, Pluralsight, Live Coders, Manning, all the kind of stuff that I like to promote and talk about and do. You can go underneath the video here and check out those links, get more information on those. And that makes them clickable too. So it's not just a clip that shows them in the video, but something you can click on right down there at the bottom. Those of you on YouTube aren't going to get to see it, but you can always check those out. Whether I'm online or not, go to twitch.tv/MatthewDGroves. You can see all those links, information there under the video feed. So that is done, considering that done. And so the last three things, the major features here are a ticker message. Still might want to do that. That seems lower priority. And that might just be as easy as dropping in, some sort of something that someone else already created. I could just drop that as a web page here on Streamlabs. Message to the chat every n minutes. Yep, that's still on my to-do list. But pre-show trivia is what I want to focus on today. So the idea here is there's going to be a separate page that my Twitch bot, which maybe needs a different name besides Twitch bot because it's doing more than just being a chat bot, but a separate page that I can show on a Streamlabs scene. And maybe it'll put some music on there or something too, I don't know. But it's going to use reveal.js to show kind of like an automated slideshow of trivia. And my idea is eventually when I get the display part working, it's going to just make requests to a backend and pull the trivia questions randomly from a database of questions. And then the next logical step from there is maybe I open that up to allow you all to submit trivia questions to the bot. So when you tune in, your trivia question could be on the screen. And I could also, now that I think about it, I could also use this pre-show trivia to be mid-show trivia. So instead of my taking a break, I'll be right back screen, I'll throw up some trivia for a few minutes while I go take a break, which I don't always do, but it'd be nice to have that option. So that's what I'm thinking about doing today. Now the thing is, I don't think I've ever used reveal.js before, at least not directly. So I'm gonna have to learn about reveal.js. What, Calvin on Stream Helper Factory. Seems like a bit much. A factory to create factories. But this is kind of what I want to do here. So I'm going to create a new controller class. This is my ASP.NET project, by the way, which it's totally open source. You can check it out there. If you go to that URL I just threw in the chat on GitHub. But I'm going to create let me make sure I'm in the right branch here first. So I've been doing some tinkering with it today. I've done a little bit of refactoring. I've updated the README file and things like that. But I want to make sure, yep, I'm in the right branch. Okay, before I start doing anything. So I'm going to call it TriviaController. This is going to be the class is like the front end. Well, yeah, it's going to be part of the front end anyway. Oh gosh, Visual Studio is having a fit. Okay, it's going to be the part of the front end that's going to present the trivia, and I'll also put an endpoint in here to actually fetch the trivia. So that's what I plan to do. So to start with, I really don't need anything because I just want to kind of test reveal.js out. So it's just going to be home for now, and I'll give this a route of trivia. And it's going to return a view. So this is the very least, almost the least you can do with an action. It's whenever someone goes to /trivia on the website, it will just return a view. I don't have that view created yet, but I will create that now. So we'll create a view folder called trivia. And I'll just cheat you a little bit here. I'm going to copy this file over here. It's supposed to be called home. I could call it index. That's probably more consistent if I do that. So it's index. I'm just going to strip everything out for the most part. There's no model yet or anything like that. Just HTML, no CSS, no body, nothing in there yet. So trivia goes here. And that's it. So then if I go ahead and run this, I don't even have authentication on it yet. Some racket in the other room. But I'll eventually put bearer token on this as well, because this is just meant to run in my browser. Or sorry, meant to run in a browser certainly, but Streamlabs as a browser. So we go trivia, and this should say trivia goes here. There we go. So we've got a URL and some HTML that gets returned. The next step is to put some presentation in here. Probably an endpoint to return the trivia, but let's look at, I want to bring up reveal.js. I want to learn more about this. So I did a little bit of research because I was mainly interested if there's a way to automate slides with Reveal, and it turns out there is. And actually, it's pretty cool. The reveal.js website is built with Reveal, of course, so you can just go through like a slide framework. This is there's one particular slide. Yeah, this one right here. So you can sort of step through individual pieces. So that would be a way that I could, the next step would show the answer to the trivia, right? So there'd be a timer to give you 30 seconds or whatever to guess the answer. And then it would show the answer. And then it would go to the next one. Keep going like that. So now I want to actually get to the documentation. So just go to GitHub and see what happens here. Reveal.js. So let's see. We've got online editor. That's kind of cool. People who are wanting to create presentations without having to code anything. I definitely do want to code. So this is some basic setup. There's a release here. I'm wondering if there's a CDN of it. Looks like there's a socket.io. Maybe a CDN.js. See if there's reveal over there. Because I don't necessarily want to commit that package. The one thing that I'm doing right now for SignalR is what? So if we go to web, there's some sort of dependency that I'm using. It is, where is it? LiveMan. That's what I'm using, LiveMan. So I'm not sure why SignalR is in LiveMan and not NPM or something like that, but I'm wondering if I can use LiveMan to get reveal. So this goes to like a LiveMan library and such. Since I'm already using LiveMan, again, I don't know why SignalR is using that, but that was the tutorial that I found. Whoa, some sort of insect in here. Add the following to the libraries array of LiveMan. Oh, okay, CDN.js. So that's, I think I can maybe do that with this, right? So I've got reveal.js. And so I've got notice. This is the Popup tool that I'm using. So was there a tool like in Visual Studio? It uses the unpackaged repository CDN. Yeah, it should be on there somewhere. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. How do you Visual Studio? Because I did this in a previous stream, but I can't remember how I did it. Use LiveMan with ASP.NET Core in Visual Studio. fine. Add client-side library. Yeah, something like that. So something like here. I'm in the right place. Where is this? Solution Explorer. Right-click the project folder. Add client-side library. Okay. Add client-side library. Okay. And the CDN.js. So I can then search for reveal.js. There we go. All right. Now, there's lots of stuff in here. What do I need all of this? Right now I don't see why I wouldn't take all of it. Yeah, right click on the project node. That is correct, Calvin. There's not really a guide on here, I don't think, of what I want to choose, but I can just go ahead and add everything. We'll see what happens. That's going to make a change to the LiveMan JSON file. So I'm not going to check in any of this code, right? But LiveMan is going to pull it for me. Modules. I think it's supposed to pull it for me. All right, here, lib, and maybe if I do a build, it'll pull it, or maybe not, since it's on a CDN. www.root/lib/reveal. There's no reveal there. LiveMan Visual Studio. Include all library files, choose specific, right. Click the install button. Manually configure, yeah. Restore files during build. Right click and enable restore. Yeah, I thought I did that already. Right click. Enable. Is the target dir set up right? On where? Where do you see a target dir? It's in there. It's in the folder under lib. Oh, okay. Folder under lib. Oh, there it is. Okay. So it was just running. It was just, I didn't see it right away. Okay. It was like a background thing. There we go. All right. So that's LibMan. So when I commit that, when I go to commit that, what you should notice, and maybe not. Okay. So it's bringing in everything. I must have, okay. So I must commit these, which I guess makes sense because my GitHub action isn't going to pull these from LibMan. So I don't have to commit them. I'm wondering about when I deploy this to Azure, though. I don't know if LibMan is set up to pull those things in or not. There's a NuGet package to add it to the restore process. Okay, interesting. So that may be something I want to explore in the future. But let's just stick with getting reveal to work for now. Okay, so yeah, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so markup. Here's a bare bones example of a fully working reveal.js presentation. Let's do it. I'll put it all here. Okay, so that's the wrong folder, right? It's supposed to be. How do I do this with like this? I just go curly brace, or curly, right? /lib/reveal. JS, reveal.js, and I'll just do the min version, that's fine. Let's see what happens. All right, okay, there's something here. I don't know if that's quite right. There may be some CSS I need to include, but something's happening. There's some 4 of 4 errors with CSS, so yeah. Need all that CSS. It didn't actually. Oh, yeah. Okay. So it isn't there. I just didn't get the paths right. Got it. See, this is me and oh gosh, This is how I roll with front end, clunkily. Okay, slash, but not that. I'm going to do slash CSS, slash reveal CSS. And minified again is probably fine. And a theme, white, and again, minified. All right, let's see what happens now. Slide 1, look at that. Slide 2, absolutely incredible. I did all that, and it already looks kind of nice, right? This is a nice font. It's nice and centered. Everything's centered somehow. Ship it, Calvin says. Yeah, we're all done. Look at that. I changed the size, and it's still centered. Amazing. Absolutely incredible. Okay, so this is the part here where I'm going to need to actually do something interesting. All right, so the way this works is the hierarchy needs to be reveal, slides, section. So right here you can see I've got the slides. Section represents one slide and can be repeated indefinitely. If you place multiple section elements inside of another section, they will be shown as vertical slides. Okay, got it. I'm not going to do vertical slides. The first of the vertical slides is the root of the others. Yep, fine. It's possible to write your slides using Markdown. Okay, so I've just put data-markdown in the section. But that's basically it, right? These are slides. This is the first slide. This is the second slide. All right. And then this reveal initialize. So there's a bunch of properties that can go with reveal initialize. So one of them somewhere is like a auto progress, like a timer, something like that. Pacing timer, yeah. Start timer, speaking timer. I know I looked this up, and there was a automatic advance, like auto sliding. It can progress through slides automatically. HTTP Junkie, what's up? Oh boy, here we go. Because I'm in JavaScript world now, which is not. I'm a fish out of water, but HTTP Junkie this is totally his jam. So just be nice to me, HTTP Junkie. I'm not using React. And I'm not using GraphQL. but welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Okay, reveal.configure. How is that different than reveal.initialize? Are you really a front-end dev if you don't fill your HDG with node modules? Reveal.configure. So do I run reveal.js is dope? It is dope. It is super dope. I've actually just got, I just did their Hello World example. Pretty darn easy. Right now I'm trying to figure out how to get the auto advance to work. So I'm wondering, this reveal.configure, this come before reveal.initialize? Reveal.configure. So I've got, whoops, it's AutoSlide. This is what I want right here. So this is going to assume every 5 seconds, going to automatically advance. So I'm going to put a few more slides in here. I'll put one that says Calvin rules, and I'll put another one that says Eric Bouchard rules, and we'll see how this works. Does it loop back around? I don't know, Calvin. Something we'll have to find out. Trivia, okay. Slide 2, Calvin rules, Eric Bouchard rules. That seemed faster than, well, that was about 1 second. Oh, it did not loop back around. So maybe there's a loop back around setting as well, but dang, that worked very nicely. If I hit the play button, it starts over again. This is too easy. Yeah, it is too easy. I expected a lot more of a fight here, honestly. But so that's pretty much it, I guess. I mean, I guess the next thing to do is to kind of figure out how to, I guess we could come up with some fake trivia questions, right? And Markdown might be useful here, or maybe just HTML. I don't know. We'll see. So let's just try a quick example here. So let's see, trivia question. So which of these is a real package listed on npm.js? Is it npmjs.com? Yes. Okay, so H2, let's make the H2. And then we'll do a ordered list. You've not used this in about a year, so it'll be interesting to watch. I'm so far very impressed. So we'll put some. Let's do some real ones here. So this is what I used to do for the podcast. Someone mentioned this earlier in the chat. It was I'd come to npm.js and I'd just look for oddly named packages, right? So I wonder if I still have some of these listed. npm. We could convert it to, is this a NuGet package? Yeah, sure, we could do that for... The thing is, NuGet packages, they're not quite as fun like as npm.js package names, right? If I could find an example here. I don't know if I ever took notes of these or not. Did you play the game with me, Calvin? I can't remember. Yeah, once or twice. Okay. So why isn't Calvin Allen showing up here in my search? What was the topic? Do you remember? Oh, here we go. On a potpourri of topics. Yeah, I'm not seeing any notes here about it, so... Okay, well, we'll just have to come up with some new ones, I guess. All right, so what's the oddest name NPM package that you can think of, just off the top of your head? HokeyCokey. Oh, gosh, there's a real HokeyCokey package. All right, so we'll use that one. That's our real one. See, if you go to NuGet, there's not going to be anything called HokeyCokey, is there? Nope, nothing hokey. Nothing cokey, right? So I'm just saying, NPM, it's just, for whatever reason, the JavaScript developer is a lot more whimsical with their names. I don't know what it is. NuGet, we're all like professional and, a package should say what it does and have an interesting name, or have a useful name. But NPM's all like HokeyCokey. Simple string rendering and matching. So actually use a string templating library in here. What is it called? Scribbin, which is not a crazy name, right? But it's not exactly a straightforward name. There's no Scribbin, so there you go. I'll make that one of my not real ones. Scribbin, or it might be Scribin. I don't know, something like that. Okay, and what else we got? Is something called Pokey? Yeah, there is one called Pokey. Is there just one called Hokey? Yep, there's one called Hokey. What else rhymes with Hokey and Pokey and Cokey? Smoky? Yep, there's one called Smoky. Oh boy, is there one called Calvin? This is just taking too long. Yep, there's one called Calvin. Is there one called HTTP Junkie? Nope, there's not one called HTTP Junkie. Okay, so we'll put that in there, and copyright strike. And there's one called Couchbase, certainly. Is there one called, geez, I don't know. Is there one called NoSQL? Yep. It's just called NoSQL. It's an embedded database called NoSQL. I will be on the mobile in my car, but I'll be watching. This is funny. Okay, how about car phone? Nope, that's not a real one. Okay, so there we go. We got 4 answers, and then that'll be the slide, and then I'll say the real one is this one. I'll just use strong there. So then I'll make it like a 10-second delay. So let's see what happens. Whoa. That's not what I expected. Did I do something wrong? What in the world? Oh. Oh. Somehow it got out of the section. It got loose. All right. Let's try this again. Which of these is a real package listed on npmjs.com? So you can see the timer going there in the bottom left. And it's kind of bold. But you can see number 3 is the answer. So maybe I can I don't know. What's underlined? Is there an underline? Maybe I'd strike through on the other ones. Yeah, I know U is obsolete. But is there a market for underline, or is that just a style now? Strike through is also obsolete. I could just give them styles, right? Anyway, this is just experimentation. But is it font style underline? What is it? Font feature, font size, font variant, font decoration. Why isn't that coming up? It doesn't like font decoration either. Doesn't exist in CSS. What? CSS underline style. Calvin, oh my bad. Oh, text decoration. That makes more sense. Okay. All right, so that's cool. Now, what I'm interested in, because the transition is just like slide off the screen. What I would like is maybe like a fade transition. Is that possible? Slide transitions, okay. Fade in, fade out. Okay, there we go. So you just say data transition equals slide in, fade out. So I could say fade in, fade out for each of these sections. Let's see what happens. Okay, so there we go. And we got the 10-second countdown while you have a chance to think about which answer it is. There you go. Pretty good. I think that's good enough to start with. This is all capital letters. That just may be a style thing. That I don't know. I could work with that, but I think that's pretty much it. That's the entire front end. It could obviously get better in terms of style and how it looks, but why start with that now? I don't have anything close to a good sense of style. So probably what I want to do next is make this more data-driven. All right, so there'll be a few slides at the beginning that say, hey, welcome to the stream, blah, blah, blah. Welcome the stream. This should probably be make this an H2. Stream will be starting soon. In the meantime, I'll just say stay tuned. Stay tuned for some pre-show trivia. Okay. And then at the end, I will say, thanks for playing. How many did you get right? Stay tuned. Stream will start soon. Okay, now in the middle here is where I need to put the ones I'm going to load from a database. So I've got some ideas about how to do that. But one thing I think might be worth knowing is I've got this AutoSlides at the 10 seconds globally. Hi, can you keep it down over there?
What?
I'm trying to live stream here. Keep it down over there, would you?
Are you serious?
What do you mean, am I serious?
I didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah. Well, you think I'm just talking to myself?
Yeah.
With the light on?
Yes.
Right in my face? I do talk to myself a lot. I practice presentations and things, but I don't have the light blaring on me when I'm presenting. Don't throw your hands up at me. That's my lovely wife, Allie. She's been working hard to kind of redecorate our sunroom, which is right over there. Usually lots of light flowing in from outside. Want anything from the store, Matt? Red Bull? Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. Tolerate me. You know what, HTTP Junkie? I think you need to take it easy on the Red Bull. This Coke's more my speed. Like, I usually don't drink much regular Coke these days, but stressful times, so I'm drinking the full thing of sugar. Yeah, she does more than tolerate me. She's tremendous. She's done a lot of work around the house. Working with the kids and the schoolwork and stuff. So we have a sunroom in our backyard. Calvin, you've been here. You might remember it. A Florida room, sometimes they're called sunroom, and it's just all sliding glass windows and doors and screens, and that's where I put my hot tub, for instance. Put some baseball equipment in there for practice, things like that. She moved exercise equipment out there, and she's put up curtains around the whole room. So it's going to give some insulation. We'll see how that goes in the summer, and some additional privacy. She did the whole sunroom out there, so it's like adding a whole another room to the house. It's very nice. So that's what she's working on right now. She's still in the process of moving stuff around. All right. So let's see. I want to figure out. We don't have to do a back end for this yet, but I'm going to add some jQuery in here. Yeah, you heard me. You heard me right. All about the jQuery. We're going to bring in jQuery here. This is jQuery 3.4.1. What do you mean no? You tell me no. I'm bringing in jQuery. All right, and then trying to remember. I get no's across the board. Don't you put down jQuery? How dare you? I don't necessarily need to use jQuery, but I like it. Yeah, Calvin likes jQuery. That's totally fine. Window onload, I think, is what I want. I don't use it much at this point. So it used to be like you'd have the whole run through a bunch of hoops here with like documents. You know what? That might not be jQuery actually. So maybe I don't need jQuery. I'll leave it in there just in case I decide to use it. So onload is going to do those things, but yeah, that whole noise there. So I'll copy and paste this just for reference as well. And this should be type equals text JavaScript, right? And I probably move this into its own JS file at some point, but I just want to make sure things are working here. All right, so what this is going to do is I'm going to Load question data from endpoint. Oh no. Polarin. We're getting raided. Everybody panic. Use the defend command. Bang defend. Yeah, let's do it. Hello, Polarin. Polarin, are you a team member? Are you a relatively new team member? Because if so, I'd be happy to give you a shout out. I'll give a shout out anyway because of the raid. But yes, that forehead will stop. I got 2 bots running right now. That's why you're seeing it twice. But that's okay. We'll give Polarin, however you say it, a shout out. Go give Polarin a follow. Thank you for the raid, Polarin. This is normally a stream where I do a lot of back-end stuff, databases and .NET and C#. We're dipping into some JavaScript today. You are Ish. Been a team member for about a month or so. Cool. Welcome. Thanks for the raid. Appreciate it. The team I'm talking about is the Live Coders team, of course, which I plugged at the beginning of the stream. But you're a web dev, but you stream game dev or woodworking. Oh, gosh, woodworking. That sounds cool. I know someone who likes woodworking. Oh, and PHP? Huh? Oh, yeah, I do some PHP every once in a while. Calvin A. Allen, I think, has been known to do a little woodworking here and there. No, Polarin. Oh, you do some PHP? Oh, so Calvin, you know Polarin. Okay. Terrific. Yes. So whenever I work with wood, it's not really woodworking. It's more like wood struggling. Like it's just, oh, you just read the page when you want to follow. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough, Calvin. Cool. Well, J.R. Lawthorne's a PHPer. That's right. J.R. Lawthorne is into PHP. So it seems like Polarin might be a good follow for you as well, J.R. Lawthorne. Lawhorn. I'm probably saying it wrong. Noise. Well, I'm doing a little bit of JavaScript. I'll just show you what I've got here. Work in progress. Let's see if this still works. So I'm working on some pre-show trivia is the idea here. So this is going to go on before I start with Twitch. I'm using the reveal.js framework. Show some trivia questions on the screen. And so it gives you some time to come up with the answer to the question. And then, just like in a movie theater, it'll show you what the answer is. And we'll keep on going. And that's all automated. And this is all being done with reveal.js right in a browser, which I can then just plug right into Streamlabs. Easy peasy. I don't do much PHP on stream, though I'm going to be working on a Trello overlay soonish. A Trello overlay with PHP? I wonder what that's all about. That sounds pretty wild. Use Trello a fair bit in my career, in my life, for some Kanban-ish activities. I wonder what a Trello overlay with PHP would look like. But anyway, that's what I'm working on. And so all that is done basically with Reveal. I mean, very little I had to actually do other than add Reveal to my project with LiveMan, add a couple lines of Reveal configure and Reveal initialize, add some HTML5 with sections, and away we go. Basically integration between the Trello API, then pulling cards from a list to show on my overlay. Oh, got it. Okay. Oh, like an overlay for your stream. Cool. That makes sense. That kind of overlay. All right. That way my display updates automatically. I'm really bad about changing text on screen. Got it. Makes sense. That sounds cool. Never used the Trello API before. I never even thought about using a Trello API. So there must be one, right? Makes sense. Hoping to release it as a service. Sounds really cool, Polarin. I don't do much PHP these days. I've done a fair bit of PHP in the past. Although, to be honest, most of it was probably PHP 5, maybe even earlier versions, 3, 4, 5. Was there a 4? Was there PHP 4? 3, 4, and 5. And I haven't done much with it since then. I've dabbled a bit with like Laravel and what's the other one? Shoot. Another framework like Laravel here on the stream. Well, certainly, yeah, Cake PHP is something I used back in the day, but recently it's been Laravel. Actually, one of my first videos I ever made, instructional tech videos, was on Cake PHP. I wonder, it's probably still out there somewhere. Cake is how you got started in pro dev. That's cool. I like Cake PHP a lot. I just haven't worked on it a long time. Symfony, that's right. Spelled wrong there, but yes, Symfony is the other one I dabbled with here. Thank you, Calvin. I appreciate that. Used to use Cake, use Laravel now. Yeah, all of them to me feel very similar. It's just that, they all seem like MVC frameworks, but certainly there's little things about them that I could see why you'd prefer one over the other depending on your approach, things like that. But yes, my very first days at PHP, it wasn't a framework at all. It was just big ball of mud PHP, all in one file type of thing. Just my first version of something that Calvin works on now. There's a program called Easy Rep, which is a sales rep sales management program. First version was written in PHP. Well, technically, the first version was written in like Delphi or Pascal or something, right? And I created a version in PHP instead, and then we switched over to ASP.NET. May have run into you back in the day in IRC. That's cool. We're on IRC right now. Got to flip back to Linux, get to work back in a bit. Hey, Polarin, good to see you. Thanks for the raid. Thanks for lurking. I wrote some no framework PHP in 2002. Well, that's a little bit before my time. I was still in college then. I don't think I was even writing stuff for the web back then. It was all console-based stuff, like C++, quick basic for me back then. That's about the time I was working on that pizza, my parents' pizza store. One of my first apps that I ever wrote for a real business was a order-taking system for a pizza restaurant. That was all in quick basic. So no web development for me back then. I knew HTML, and I copied and pasted CSS and JavaScript, but that's about as much as I got into it. All right, so I want to load question data from endpoint. So let's just assume I have question data. It's going to be like an array. Can I do this? Can I just do literal, kind of like almost JSON object notation here? So question would be something like, which of these is a real package listed on npm.js? Okay, and then I can say options would be its own array. This would just be an array of strings. It's probably fine. I can just put it on one line here. This is something that I'd want to pull from a backend, which would in turn would pull from a database. HokeyCokey. And a car phone. Haruhime, hey, Matt, how are you doing? I am doing well, Haruhime. Thank you for stopping in, and thank you for making a little emoji bounce around the screen. That's a relatively new thing I added via Streamlabs. Answer. So I guess I could just represent this by index, right? So I've got all this stuff here. Comment that out. I could give this a slide intro ID. And this is maybe why, here's what I'm thinking. You can tell me if there's a better way to do this. And maybe the better way to do this is to do this all programmatically, but I want to add a section in right after this section. So I give it an ID. So with jQuery, I'd say like add after or something like that, and put in some HTML. Is there a better way to do that? So I can say for var I equals 0, I less than count of question data, I plus plus, Okay, and then what I would do is I'd go through each one of these question datas and say, okay, question equals question data, or dot question. Wait, no, I'm doing this wrong. Question, options, and answer equals answer. Okay, and then just want to throw that into some HTML, basically. So I don't know, how do we do this these days? How do we all do this? jQuery add HTML, right? Add element. I can't remember how to do this in jQuery. Exactly what the syntax is. It's after, right? One thing I love about jQuery, I think it's been good at for a long time, is their documentation. DOM insertion, yes. So after content, there's always have good examples here. So after this, put in that. So that's what I want to do. Now, I guess the tricky part then becomes, well, no, that should be fine. It's just all going to be random anyway, right? So let's put another question in here just for effect here. So anybody know any good trivia questions that I could put in here? Let's see. Which line 71 need your $sign? Yeah, right. I'm not there yet. Which of these jobs has Matthew never had? Okay. Cable guy. There's a difference between after and append. Oh, there is a difference, I think. I don't think they're just aliases. There's after. There's append. Adds it to the end of each element. Yes. So you can append to everything. I think that's right. Oh, no. Insert content specified by the parameter after each element. Insert content specified parameter to the end of each element. Okay. Append is you're going to modify an element. After is you're going to. There might be the same in some cases, but not all. Someone from New York's trying to call me. I'm sure that's legitimate. Which of these jobs has Matthew never had? Cable guy, furniture mover. Let's see. Hotel desk clerk and programmer. The answer is same. Never been a hotel desk clerk. Append is modify the inside of the element. After is modify the DOM after the element. Yeah, I think roughly that's right. So I want to say slide intro is my ID, and so I'll change this to, instead of a dot, I'm going to do a hash there, and then after, it's going to basically be this, right? That's not going to work. This is where probably not an ideal way to do this. You can't have multi-line strings in JavaScript, can you? So I think something like mustache would be good here, right? Actual template engine. And it is I could just bring it in with the CDN just like I'm doing here, right? I'm sort of half CDN and half not at this point with LiveMan. Let's bring in mustache. That's one I've used before. Anyone have any suggestions for better templating libraries? I am all ears. Copy script tag without SRI. Okay, I don't know. Integrity. Oh, well, that's fine. I don't care about that. Okay. So then what I would do is, if I remember how to do this, is you can create like a little template object. Look at that mustache. I got a mustache here. You can't really see it. I've got one. Templates. So, yeah, I'd have like a little script here that's a template. Like so. And I'll just take this part here. Make it the template. Okay, and this will be mustache question. Like so. And then how you do a for loop in mustache, I can't remember. Something like mustache. Show me the loop. Variables. What am I looking at? Sections. Render blocks of text one or more times depending on the value of the key in the current context. Non-empty list. Bring over array of strings. Okay, this is what I want right here. And it's going to be options with a little hash and the dot because it's just an array of strings. And now the problem here is it's logicless. All right, so there's no if statements. Oh, I can put a little function in. Yeah, I'll put a little function in. I think that's what I'll do. Maybe? Anyway, let's just get this working. And I can think about that. I don't know if I even need this now, but after, and I'm going to render mustache.render with the templates, something, template. Like so. The template I actually have to get separately, so I'll just put in question data I, like that, which I might not even have to do that. I can maybe just, I don't know, let's do this for now. And then the actual template, I will fetch. And how does it say to do it over here? How do I get the template? Just like this. Don't even need to use jQuery. And the template is, I just called it a template. And mustache render, that returns HTML. So I'll throw that in here. That's using some jQuery. Okay. That should work. Well, maybe. We'll see. Okay, and it does not work. Count is not defined. What? Oh, is it not? It's length, not count. Gosh. It's count in PHP, isn't it? Ah, boy. Length is not a function. What? What am I doing wrong? I want the size of the array. How do I get size of an array in JavaScript? It's not count or length. Get size of array. What is it? Oh, you say dot length on the array? Is that it? Yeah. Hard to keep track of these things when I have like .NET is one way, PHP is another way, and JavaScript is the third way. Okay. Oh, there we go. Switch to view, Calvin says. Who needs it? I got mustache. Well, that doesn't look right. I think because I botched the template. Yeah. That's right. Okay, stream will be starting soon. Stay tuned for some pre-show trivia. Waiting. Boom. Oh, should be ordered list for one. Okay. And then it's going to end, right? Oh, no, I still got the other stuff hard-coded in there. No, I don't. No, I don't. But notice it puts them in backwards because I'm doing the after, right? Which is fine. They're going to be random anyway. It doesn't matter to me if we move them backwards. Fine. So the next thing is I want to actually highlight it if it's the answer. So mustache is supposed to be logic list, right? Logic list templates. I want a little bit of display logic here. I think, right? Which you don't put in the template itself. So I can put a little function in there. So that's the so the object is like this. Can I just put a little piece of logic in there and say object dot render option equals function of option text and answer num. Is this going to work? Let me think about this. Option text and I think shoot. We can say if, yeah. So I can say like if this dot options of answer num equals this dot options of this dot answer, then can I return this is going to be HTML, right? Plus option text. I don't know if this is the right way to do it or not, but this is what I'm going to do. Option text. See if this works. So then it'll put, if it's the correct answer, it's going to put it in bold, which then I will take and add here. And how do I call a function? Just name. I can't pass parameters to it, can I? Wait. Text render text. The value of a function. If the value of a section key is a function, it's called with the section's literal block of text unrendered as its first argument. Yeah, this may not be the way to go with mustache. Or I'm overthinking it. So looks like I can pass in the text, but I can't pass in any sort of index. Return name, template functions, okay. If the value, well, it's the bold version of it, okay. This is kind of what I'm doing here, right? I want to return bold of, in this case, tater. Puts, I don't know where the high comes from. Oh yeah, high tater. It's going to pass in all this text into that function. Well, that might work, wouldn't it? Do I need answer num? Yeah, I don't need this. I can just say if this options, if option text equals, yeah, that's all I need. If the text is the same, we'll slap 3 equals on there, just for funsies. Okay, and then we'll say render option. And so then what I do is I put this stuff around here. Whoops. Like so. Something like this. But instead of bold, I'm going to say render option and high, not high, but just period, and render option slash. So that will put a strong around it if it's the correct answer, I think. Let's find out. Oh, I got an error message. Cannot read property undefined. Render option. What did I do wrong here? This is the object I'm passing in. That has a render option function, right? I mean, this is JSON, right? Shouldn't that work? Equals function of. What's the problem here? Cannot read property undefined of undefined. Oh, of undefined. What? Okay, we're going to go a little bit on the debugging here, because I don't really know what is happening. Okay, fine. Question data. So I'm just going to step through it here. That should have, yeah, answer, options, question, fine. Okay, now it should have the function in there. Fine. There's a template. Okay, cannot read property. Oh, interesting. This isn't working. Why isn't this working? This is some crazy JavaScript scope stuff going on here. Yeah, oh boy. Render text. Render text. Oh, this is returning a function anyway. It's a function which returns a function. Oh boy, I'm making this too hard on myself, probably. Okay, well, let's just, I don't know. Forget this render option stuff. Forget this as well. We're going to render it. And then, okay, fine. And then I'm going to do it again. And we're going to say, oh gosh, another subscription for Mini Wheats. That is quite the quarantine beard you got there. I mean, honestly, I'm not much of a beard guy. It doesn't look so good on video. It looks a little better in person, like his actual mustache up here. But yeah, it's that's what I've got going on. I haven't shaved since stay-at-home order. Just got a little bit lazy and I was like, I'm just gonna keep going. Mini Wheats. Hey, since you subscribed, I think it's only fair. You had a question you dropped on me in another social network. You're working through something with Java, and I wanted to help you out with that. Do you have some time now to maybe describe what you're trying to do? This options is supposed to be right here. It's just supposed to be an array. Question data, I options. Yeah, question data is actually up here, right? So I was trying to create a method that is being applied just to that one object, right? So I was an object dot, but I think I want to go about this a different way. So we're going to go through each question. I'm going to do it twice. If you use a JavaScript framework, it has nothing to do with Java, hun. No, yes. No, but Mini Wheats talked to me. He had he was working on some Java stuff. That's why I bring it up. He was having an issue with Java. He was trying to do something with Java, and it wasn't quite working how he expected it to. So happy to help with that. I know I'm changing gears here. We're working on JavaScript, and he has a Java question. But since he just subscribed, I think it's fair. So basically, I have a website that I work with. We use different tamper monkey scripts to isolate or highlight information we need. Basically, every day we have events that have a unique identifier. Okay, I don't know what tamper monkey is. Tamper monkey is the most popular user script manager. Okay. I want to take that unique identifier and turn it into a clickable link. Okay. Disclaimer, I've never used tamper monkey before, so I don't exactly know how to demonstrate or how to work through that. But it uses Java for whatever these user scripts are. User scripts are little programs that, for example, add download buttons to YouTube pages, clean up your Facebook timeline, or help play an online game. So if I just install TamperMonkey, can I start writing some code with it? Yeah, why not? I'll add TamperMonkey here. We'll see what happens. TamperMonkey's been added. Fine. All right. So it's a great little extension. All right. Fine. I'll take your word for it. So TamperMonkey showed up over here. So let's say, can we use it on this? And no script is running. Create a new script. Okay. Okay. So first thing, mini wheats. Haruhi may actually it made a point here. Is that when you messaged me earlier, you said that you're having trouble with Java. This is not Java. This is JavaScript. It's a common mistake. A lot of people make it, so not a big deal. But they're totally two different languages. So if you're Googling for Java, you're going to find different things than if you Google for JavaScript. No, absolutely not. You're not a big dumb. No, it is absolutely a common mistake. It's totally fine. Don't worry about it. But just know going forward that if you're looking for answers and stuff, yeah, absolutely blame the people who named it. The reason they named it JavaScript was to try to latch on to the, at the time, recent popularity of Java, and they both have curly braces and semicolons, somewhat similar syntax. So that makes it even worse, because sometimes a piece of JavaScript and a piece of Java look the same. Sometimes. So, but yeah, totally different things. Now this says user script. So what you want to do is you want to find a unique ID on a page and turn it into a button. Your expertise is in AWS usage and eyes on glass monitoring. I don't know what eyes on glass monitoring is. I know what AWS is. So I have zero, well, not zero, but almost no AWS ability whatsoever. Yeah, I'm terrible at AWS. That's a good point. So Java is comparable to C++, C Sharp. I think closer to C Sharp because it's managed. C++, in terms of syntax, certainly. It's a native programming language. I don't know if native is the right word, but it's compiled to JVM, whatever the JVM language is called. I don't know. To the Java Virtual Machine language. So I don't think it was actually designed. It's designed not to be native. It's designed to be cross-platform. Right? So it's the whole reason. Run Java on anything, right? Run Java on your toaster, that kind of stuff. And same with C Sharp. You run C Sharp on CLR. It compiles down to IL. Runs on the CLR. C++, on the other hand, compiles down to machine code on whatever chip you're compiling for, right? So x64, x86, ARM, etc. And that runs natively. Bytecode, yes, that's what it's called, bytecode. Thank you, JR. That's correct. So .NET, we call it IL, Java, called bytecode, and bytecode runs on the JVM, and IL runs on the CLR. You don't need to know any of this stuff, mini-wheats. Just that JavaScript is not those things. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know either. I think I've heard that term. It's not one of those things I keep in my brain. So yes, thank you for that, JR. All right, so you want to find, say, let me go back up here. Different temporary streams to highlight information. Every day you have events that have a unique identifier. So I don't know, maybe we can bring up a page with different events. Where would be a good like a calendar page or something? No problem. I dabble into Java. Is there couchbase.com/events? Okay, so there's like a bunch of events here coming up for Couchbase. Everything's virtual right now, of course, but they're in different time zones and different languages here, like the German one is coming up. So by the way, these are all free as far as I know. If you're interested in a Couchbase virtual NoSQL summit, lots of great hands-on, so to speak, hands-on content. You can go check those out. Yeah, I know. I figured you couldn't show me the page, right? But the page populates events daily. On the page, each event has a list of info. The problem I'm running into is that the event ID changes every day. I assume I don't know how to find it and change it to a link. So I assume you know how to inspect HTML is what you're looking for. You're sort of looking through here, and there's a unique ID somewhere in the HTML. Hey, what's the go-to Q&A resource for Couchbase? The forums? I would say for technical stuff, yeah, forums is a great place to go. Ask your question there. Post your source code. There's different sub-forums. You can go on Couchbase. Yeah, forums.couchbase.com. Definitely a good place to go. If you are a customer, of course, if you have a support issue, you can go to the support forum. And, of course, you need to be you have a license purchase to do that. Okay, so for instance, let's see, is there anything in here like an ID that we could glom onto, for example? I had a queue this morning and put it up on Gitter. It did get answered, but that's hit or miss. You know, Gitter is a good place to hang out, but I would say the forum is where you're going to see most eyeballs in terms of Couchbase employees and a Couchbase community. Don't leave Gitter, though. Very cool place. All right, so I'm not seeing anything like an ID here that we could use for an example. So that's not really going to work. Sometimes they put IDs in the source code there. What else? What else would be a good list of events? Like meetup.com maybe? Let's go to the CentralOhio.net developers group. Go to list of events, and we've got upcoming events, and then each one of these, we'll inspect these. What is that? Okay, and is there an ID anywhere in here? Flex item. There's a list item right there. So this has got like event card. Yeah, so there's like an ID right there. Is that where you're kind of getting at? You want to take that ID and turn it into a link of some sort? Which Java are you using? Swing? Jeb? I assume you're talking to JR. Okay, so we have this ID here, and you want to go and find that ID and then turn it into a link. I'm not sure what's available here in TamperMonkey, but basically the first thing you got to do is you got to find the HTML elements that contain the ID, and then the next thing you want to do is get the ID, and then the next thing you want to do is create a link somewhere on the page using that ID. Is that basically the 3 steps you're trying to go through? And so, in terms of finding an ID, so this is where jQuery would come in handy, actually. Oh, this is not the right place. Okay, so remember I'm not quite sure how to use TamperMonkey here. Yeah, you want to turn that specific ID into a link, right? So is it all links on the page, or is there a specific one? Find element with an ID. So for each, my thought is for each event on the screen here, you'd want to do this. But is there a specific event every day? Every event has an ID, yes. So just like this one has an ID, this next one has an ID, and so on. They all have an ID. So we create what's called a loop here to go through and examine every one of these. And for each one of them, we'll take the ID and create a link. Okay. Yes, so get element by ID is something we don't necessarily know the ID in advance though, JR. So we have to kind of go through and figure it out here. So one of the things you can do, by the way, I don't know if TamperMonkey can do this, but you can actually go to the console here and just start typing in JavaScript and execute it right away. So you can just sort of experiment with it. It's the same language. This is JavaScript here in the console. It's the same language as, I assume the same language is being used here. Right? So we have, it looks like inside of this, where is, okay, it's a list item, right? So let's say we want to get, I'm going to open a new, so I can have these side by side. Console. So can I can do this in the console. This doesn't work in actual JavaScript though, does it? No, that's not it. Like that. 100% sure if I had a decent starting place I could adapt it to any. I just didn't have a good starting place. Let's see, li. List item. So can we just get everything that's list item? Can use jQuery and Tamper Monkey. Yeah, that's I don't know about that. I never, like I said, never used it. So there's 2 list items. Why isn't it Why isn't it giving me all the list items? That's confusing. Why use jQuery when you have JavaScript? Well, because, you know, if you have is there a way in a plain JavaScript to just find all of the LIs that have a class of list item? If so, that's what I would like to try. Why is this only returning one of them though? Yeah, syntactic sugar be a big one. Get element by class. Oh, okay. So like document dot get element by class name list item. So that's going to give us a bunch of these items here. Okay, very good, Calvin. Document dot query selector all. All right, interesting. Oh, sorry. For some reason, I thought that was a offensive message. Sorry about that, Haruhe. But there you go. So we could get elements by class name. So let's try this over here. So I want all the events like so, okay? And then we can just do a loop. So we say for all the events. Don't use var. Why not? Length I++. Use let or const. What is var going to hurt right here? Okay, so this is going to get all the events and then loop through all the events. Okay, too many vars will go to war. Okay. So then we have, my texter is always complaining about my use of var versus let. I'm sure there's a difference. They're not just aliases of each other, but right now not a super big problem. So inside of these, in fact, we might even be able to, and again, your HTML is going to be different based on the pages you're working on. So we might even want to just go to skip the li and we'll just go to card. So there we've got all those cards, and so each of those cards has an ID in them. So there's the ID. So that's how we can get the ID. So back over here, we can just say card. And so we can say the event equals all the events of I. And then var is a higher scope as a let. Let exists only in the defined closure, and you can't declare a let multiple times. Not a big deal for this particular script. Event, and then I want to say event dot ID, right? .id, and I don't know, can we do a console.log here? I'm just kind of curious. Save. So I got this user script. I want to run it against my code here. How do I run that script? Install user script. Here's the page. Oh, there we go. There's a little 1 there. What does that mean? How do I... So I've got that script created there, mini wheats. How do I actually execute it against this page? Or is it already executing? I don't know. Oh, it is already executing. There you go. It's running out the console. So it just executes automatically. I don't have to trigger it. Okay. Automatically executes. Okay, there we go. Okay, so then the next thing we want to do is figure out where do I want to put that button. We would say, so this has got a card, right? This is... Yeah, see this little link right here? We basically want to create that, right? So we want to create HTML inside of that element. So let's call this event element. And we want to create, so we did that. We got the ID. We want to create a link inside of event element. How do I do that? Again, with jQuery, I would just be got it, but is there like a way to insert adjacent HTML? Just for instance, could I put hello world right here? What's that going to do? Failure to, okay, 2 arguments, so I don't know. How do we insert HTML with plain JavaScript? Plain JavaScript, insert HTML. Create elements, okay. Create elements. Well, given an element, can I put something inside of that? Like I'm doing here? This is probably really hard for everyone to read. Yeah, create elements, not a function of elements themselves. JavaScript, create element inside of another element. No. Inner HTML, I guess. I don't want to replace it, I just want to add it. Append child? Append child. Failed to execute. What? Parameter 1 is of not type node. What am I doing wrong here? Create water node, create child node, append the text. What am I doing wrong? From the web. Okay. Right, but I think I'm doing that. Let me clear this out here. Right, so I've got this element. Okay, and then I want to append child. I'm just putting some text in here. Hello. And I get an error message. Failed to execute. Parameter 1 is not of type node. Well, kind of stuck here. And with jQuery, this would be super straightforward, I think, to figure this out. I don't know if we can add that in user script or not. That'd be nice. So why is this saying it's not of type node? Time to Google. What's the type of the array element? Let's see. Oh, right here. What's the type? I don't know. How do we find the type? I could just, what did I say? Dot node type? Node type 1? Okay. I don't know. How do you get types in JavaScript? Your function is returning a string rather than the div node. Append child can only append a node. Okay, what will work is create element, document.body.append child z. That's not what I'm looking for. Probably you're getting the error in uncompleted function, target.append child. Well, I don't know. I'm kind of stuck here. My JavaScript knowledge is failing me, but basically the next step is going to be something like this, right? Append a child, and then we're going to create a link, like something like this, my magic link for, and then we'll put in the ID. Like that. So what that's kind of supposed to do is then I get this element, okay, and there's a bunch of them. I get all the elements, and then I loop through them, and I pull out the individual element, and I get the ID from that element, and then I use that ID inside my link here. You know, whatever, however this link is, whatever URL you want to use the ID. Can I send you this? Yes, absolutely. I'm not sure how super helpful this is because I'm missing a piece of the what's called DOM manipulation. But there you go. I got enter captcha npy_fvb. Okay, there's the code mini wait. So knock yourself out. Line 25 there is the one that I got to figure out how to actually put that element in there. So, but what I would do if I were you is just, you know, now that you know this is JavaScript, that's going to help you in the Google searches. And you're just going to you're going to figure out ways to create elements in the DOM, add elements, and yeah, something like this should work. Somewhere along these lines, it should work. Yeah, Java is going to send you down a wrong path if you're looking for Java. So that's probably the biggest thing to take out of this is one, common mistake. Two, most of the time, you know, I'm not the world's greatest developer, so I'm just Googling stuff all the time and getting little pieces and bits here and there and putting them together. Stack Overflow is a big place to go. There's a Stack Overflow question about the same thing. Yeah, so chances are if you do a Google search for error messages or, you know, put in a question, how do I do this with JavaScript, you're going to get a Stack Overflow page that will help you on the way. So there you go. Sorry we couldn't get something completely working, but it's going to be slightly different anyway because of, oh, and by the way, this is the URL I was using for TamperMonkey. I'm going to leave TamperMonkey installed because that could come in helpful. One of these days. So It's just kind of a little plugin to help you associate snippets of JavaScript with certain pages and store them. So that's pretty cool. All right. So what I wanted to do next, yeah, it's a handy little tool, is we're getting close to the end of the time here, but I want to see if I can get this rendered at least in the browser, get the trivia stuff rendered in the browser with the answer, and then I can pick up where I left off to actually pull from data. Oh, you can bring in jQuery. Look at that. There's this @require. You can do. So the other thing, if you want to go down that route, mini wheats, and jQuery isn't something that's like the new hotness that everyone's learning and everyone's using, but it is a fantastic tool for working with the DOM. It absolutely works. It's been around for a long time. It works. I like it. It's not as valuable as it used to be because one of the main things you'd get out of jQuery is cross-browser compatibility, which is not as a big deal anymore. But it used to be browsers were so different, right? But it's still a great resource. It's a great library. So if you want to try it out, and there's plenty of jQuery out there in the wild, right? So if you learn jQuery, it's going to come in handy eventually in the web development world. But if you want to go that route, you can bring in jQuery, and that'll help you as well. But you don't have to. You can go plain JavaScript route. That's fine too. I brought in jQuery here, but I haven't actually used anything in jQuery yet. Well, except for this part. This is jQuery right here. So it's just kind of a nice thing if you like jQuery, or you want that nice syntactic sugar, as JR said earlier. It's still there. jQuery was created initially by John Resig, I think was the initial creator of jQuery, or one of the main contributors, and he created it, I believe, from his work at Khan Academy. So if you've heard of Khan Academy before, I think jQuery is kind of born out of that. I could be completely wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure Resig worked for Khan Academy at one point and used jQuery there at one point. So there you go. Okay. What I want to do now is I'm going to loop through. I'm using a var again. J less than object dot options dot length J plus plus. Okay, I'm going to say if object dot options J equals no. And just say if J equals object.answer. Does length get called in every iteration in JS? Probably. Then I want to say object.options J equals strong plus object.options J strong. And then I'll just render it again. Render it again. I think there's some for each. I could use for each on it as well. Except that I always get the for each syntax wrong with JavaScript. Okay, let's see how this works. Here's the intro slide. Oh, look at that. It didn't render the HTML. And it's doing it backwards. Okay. No problem with the backwards part. I could just do it like this. But this is a problem. It's not doing literal. So is there a mustache to literal? I usually pull the length out, but it's just a habit. Yeah, I mean, that's probably slightly better. Yeah, maybe. Bang, bang. Don't see a bang, bang. Let's see. Like a literal or... So like raw, like unencoded. Pre-parsing, caching templates, setting in templates. Yeah. Comments, partials, inverted. Mustache HTML on and don't encode. I don't want to globally disable it. Or escaping, maybe that is the term I'm looking for, escaping. Let's go back here. Escape. All very, okay, here we go. If you want to render unescaped HTML, use the triple mustache. The old triple mustache. Okay. Trivia. All right. Welcome page. And then question. Which of these jobs has Matthew never had? The answer is hotel desk clerk. So the next slide should emphasize that. And it does. Beautiful. There we go. I've got pre-show trivia, kinda. It's all hard-coded, but I've got it. Which of these is a real package listed on npmjs.com? The answer, of course, as we know, is HokeyCokey, is the real one. Good old HokeyCokey. All right, so there's 2 questions done. And outro slide. Thanks for playing. Okay. Cool. So, I don't know, this isn't super smooth, this isn't super elegant, but it works. I like it. I need to create an endpoint that's going to load data from a database, load questions from a database, add in a thing that tells us to silence our phones. Yeah, every once in a while, like randomly, I'll put in a slide that's like, oh, go get a snack from the lobby. The other thing I want to do, we don't have to do this right now. It's got a little timer here at the bottom, right? But it'd be nice if there was a timer somewhere else up on, a bigger timer to show you how much time you have left to answer the question. Which, I mean, I could just drop an HTML timer in or something like that, but that seems like overkill. I don't know, that might be good enough. Just this little circle in the bottom left. Yeah, okay. Slide intro. Needs some image files too, so you can put in ads. Yeah, we could do all those things, I guess. Just after 5 slides, it puts up an ad like, oh, this string, yeah, or fun photos or something like that. Yeah, something we could explore, certainly. Okay, but this is enough for now. I think I'm going to call it a day with the stream here. So this is all hard-coded into JavaScript. This has got to be replaced with an AJAX call to an endpoint, from which I guess I could use, there's the fetch as part of JavaScript now. Usually I would say, in jQuery I would say AJAX, blah, 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 right? But I think there's actually a fetch command in JavaScript these days. I could be wrong. It makes that easier. It would just be a get. I guess you like Axios too. Oh, what's Axios? I guess the trick would then be, probably not that much of a trick, to put authorization on that, so people can't just hammer my endpoint without knowing API token. Oh, it's an Ajax library. I think I've ever used Axios before. But I think I don't need terribly complicated. I just need to fetch. I just need to do a get from an endpoint, and the endpoint's going to do most of the work. But anyway, that's it for today. Let's go over to the Live Coders team. See who's streaming. Gosh, a lot of people streaming, a lot of people watching the streams. InstaFluff, just an InstaFluff channel yesterday. Anthony writes code. We got some new members as well. 155. Most who use Vue use Axios. Well, there you go. Axios and Vue. Any suggestions on who to raid today? Oh, Dev Chatter.
Oh yeah, this is.
We're going to raid Dev Chatter. Haven't been on Dev Chatter's channel in a long, long time. So we're going to go raid Dev Chatter. If you want to join me in the raid, I would appreciate it. Just copy and paste one of those commands. There's two different ones in there because I've got the bot running locally right now too. But copy those and paste them over in Dev Chatter's channel as we go over there. Thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you, Mini-Wheats, for the subscription. Appreciate that. Thank you for the raid, Polarin. This was before I started the stream today, but Surfer Joe, Texas, Surfer Joe TX, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate everybody. Thanks for joining me. I'll be back on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. In the meantime, you all have a good one. All right, I'll see you over in Dev Chatter's channel.
Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday streams in quite a long time. Developers, welcome to all the awesome people rating in. Yes, exactly. So that is part of the challenge. I know a lot of people that are a lot of my like old viewers used to show up to my Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursday streams, and now that I'm streaming mostly on Saturday.